Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So Pixel 5, it's time to focus on the cameras, if you will, no pun intended. We're going to talk about the quality from the video that comes from the Pixel 5. Now, the main selling point or excitement for me is that this camera can record in 4K at 60. So it's not all roses. Let's get this out of the way. The quality, yes, it's good, but where I live at, it's really hot. And I actually was recording a video for probably, it was between 5 to 10 minutes, and out in direct sunlight, it actually heated up on me and stopped my recording. And it said, you need to let it cool down first, and then you can continue. So a little agitating. That is something that happened one time, but it did happen. So I'm going to report it to you, as I should. But other than the one time it reminded me of Sony type stuff going on, the camera has actually been fantastic. So again, it overheated on me one time, and I didn't know it at first, and I was still recording. I was like, what the heck? And I said, I saw a little message pop up. I tried to start it again, and then the message popped up and said, the camera is a little hot or something. It said, and please allow it to cool down, and then you can continue. That long message popped up or something of that nature. So 4K 60 on this thing is absolutely great. I've actually used this camera to record several videos so far, and it's for the channel, that is, and it's actually really good. Obviously, I'm not recording with it now. This is my A6100 with the Sigma lens, but this camera on here is really decent for 4K videos in 60 frames per second. I found that the lighting has to be a certain lighting, with all cameras, I guess. I guess when it comes to the video recording of this camera, it's just like any other camera. If you have perfect lighting, you're going to get perfect footage. Now, I'm actually walking around. You can see my shadow there. I always come to this spot over here. It's like some kind of trailer park or something. I always go behind this place to shoot, because the sun is always angled right. I can get a hit of this tree right here. Look at that. Oof. Talk about autofocus. Wow. But I like to test the cameras out in just a vlog style like this. And I think this is where it'll really test itself out. So again, 4K 60 is really good. The quality is perfect to me. It's fantastic. However, I did have that one overheating message. Now, let's talk about photos. Still unmatched. In my humble opinion, still unmatched. I just feel like Google has mastered the art of taking photos. Their software, the way they're processing these images. And speaking of processing, I found that this obviously processes photos a lot faster. Now, I like to shoot in portrait mode a lot, because it'll give you both photos, and I particularly like to focus on the portrait effect. I think just having something in the foreground and having the background blurred out is beautiful, which is why I use the Sigma lens for videos. I'm excited to the point that these cameras still outdo a ton of other cameras on the market. Are they the best cameras? Yes, I think so. I think the Pixel 4a and just any of the Pixel devices, period, for taking photos, it's always been the best. The question has always been video. So I've used this for video, and I think it's great. Aside from that one heating issue, I think they're fantastic. So the cameras, to me, they're a go. They're a serious go. Now, build quality is something that everybody likes to talk about on a device, because you want to make sure a device feels good in the hand. And the Pixel 5 does not disappoint. If you like the 4a, you are going to love the Pixel 5. It's just the same size device. It's a hair wider and a hair bigger or taller. It's just a little bit bigger overall. It's a good footprint. I think they did a great job with the way this phone is built. I like the smooth sides, but still have a soft touch matte feel. It's kind of a not sandstone, but a really soft sandstone. It's really good. I really like it. Now, they achieved wireless charging with the metal body, you know, basically a little cutout in the back to let the plastic flow through so you can get the sensors and charges and stuff there. But ultimately they did it. So it doesn't matter what it looks like or what it under the hood to me. And it doesn't matter that there's a part of plastic on here, whatever. I don't mind plastic devices. But the fact that they were able to get this done, I like it. And I just think this is a good size and a good looking device. The sage green, I think, is obviously the more popular color. When a new color comes out, like already, you know, a blue iPhone comes out and it's the best color. It's just because it's different and it intrigues you. You're tired of the same thing and you want something different and eclectic. And this is definitely different and eclectic. Just the way they put this together, man, it just looks beautiful. You just have to marvel at this hardware. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, battery life is something that I truly enjoy on this device. I went over a day and I got about 7.5 hours of screen on time. That's pretty impressive for using this device for such a short period of time. Maybe it's been a week or so by the time you're watching this video. And that's pretty good. A day and a half with 7 hours of screen on time is pretty much in line. I mean, it's got a bigger battery, but the Pixel 4a also can do this. So I just think that, you know, this pushing the screen technology that it's pushing, you know, having it this way with the OLED and then the 90 hertz kicking in sometimes. I think this is the type of battery you should expect from a device like this. 4K displays or 2K displays, they're good, but do we have to have that? Probably not, but it's nice to have it just for our viewing pleasures. But as long as it doesn't hike the price up too much, yeah, I'm fine with that. But all of those things take a hit to the battery. And one of the main hits to the battery is what when it comes to devices, it's going to be the way the phone is optimized. I think this phone is optimized perfectly, and I just have no complaints about the software at all. It's stock Android. Obviously, I kind of prefer a stock Android feel over other devices. Sometimes when I have other devices, I'll skin it with my favorite launcher, the Pix launcher, PIX launcher in the Play Store. It is free. The only device that I haven't done that with is my Z Fold 2. I just haven't did anything to the software on there because I just really like it. But this device has great software. It's fast. It's fluid. It's everything it's wanted to be. Now, the internals of this device is 8 gigs of RAM, 120 gigs of storage, no SD card, unfortunately, but you do get the Snapdragon 765. And, you know, that's always been something in question by a lot of people. They're wondering, is this powerful enough and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't have an 865. The Samsung Galaxy S20 FE is the better phone. Yeah, I hear you. If you're a spec head, then you're going to choose the one with the higher specs and you're going to feel like you got the best deal if you're matching with the price. But I've learned that, you know, specs only mean so much when it comes to what the phone is actually doing for the user. And I actually game on here, and I gamed on here, and it's actually fine. There is no problems, no real serious problems with gaming. Actually, there's no problems. It's just if you start matching them side by side, if you match this processor with another processor, you might see little things here and there, a frame drop possibly, or it might look like it's not as smooth. But that's a part of the game. It is a 765, but this 765 can pretty much handle everything that any other device could handle on the market. A lot of people say, can it play this game? Can it play this game? I think if you guys are really into gaming, you really shouldn't be buying a cell phone. If you're just really into games, you should be gaming on a portable gaming device. I don't know what the current devices are because I don't game on portable devices. I don't game on phones really, but I just think that the processing power and what they've given us in here definitely is a huge plus and a good balance to this. Now, they probably could have put an 865 in here, but would that really have made a difference in your opinion? Because really, I think what I hear now is, oh, the FE, Samsung Galaxy S20 FE, is the better phone because they cost the same and it has a Snapdragon 865. I think that's kind of a weak argument to a certain extent. I agree with you when you're saying it does have the higher specs, but are you getting that much more performance out of that 865? Is it going to last you for 4 years? This can, and the 865 processors can. My SE is up in the office, that's why I'm not holding it right now. But the point is, price shouldn't dictate how good a phone is, but unfortunately, in our world, that's what people tend to do. They feel like if they've got the next number up and the price is this, it's the better phone, without any real world testing. And that is what I definitely try to do on this channel, give real world usage. And I'm not saying that other channels are wrong. I'm just saying that I genuinely use these products for at least 3 weeks straight or 30 days straight before I start moving SIM cards around if I get something else in for review. Nonetheless, the price shouldn't dictate whether a phone is good or not. The internals shouldn't dictate whether a phone is good or not. But I understand in the tech world, this is what they do. Now, with all of the devices that are on the market, how does this device actually stack up against them? I think it does very well. A lot of people will say, oh, it's not a flagship. I've seen people commenting saying, oh, they should have made a flagship, blah, blah, blah. Again, spec heads, exit, please. You still are really lost on what a good device could possibly be. And I guess maybe I feel like that because I'm for the consumer. I'm for the person that, does not make $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year. Or they just don't budget a smartphone as something really important and they just need it to work. And I think this is where Google stole that thunder from Apple by bringing out the Pixel 4a and the 3a. They started with the 3a, and the 4a, man, they did a fantastic job. Their lineup now, to me, is complete. You don't have to have this high spec processor inside to complete your lineup. And I don't think Google is so much trying to compete with everybody else anymore. I think they learned a lesson with the 4 bars. And I just think that, they're completing their lineup. You've heard me say that over several videos. I think they're completing the lineup that they know will work for consumers. And there is no doubt that the 4a is selling great. And not that it matters to me. You guys continue to point this out to me, so I got to report it back to you. Yeah, the 4a is doing well. People love that phone. The 5 is doing well. People love this phone. Tons of people ordered this phone, selling out everywhere. People like it. And the 4a 5G, when it hits the market, recording this video, it's not out yet, but when it hits, it is going to be a serious hit. And it's going to bring to light whether you should even buy the 5a. Should you go middle ground and go the 4a 5G? Well, I personally think that the 4a is the best option, obviously, amongst all three of these devices. Because if you're just looking at money and you're looking at what the phones do and you're looking at what they offer, the only difference with the 4a really is the processor. Yeah, 6 gigs of RAM, whatever, but that processor can still handle everything. It's got a 730G or whatever it is, or a 730. These two, the 4a 5G and the 5, have the 765. Are we getting that much more for double the price or $150 more? I think Google staggered this just right, because what they did was they gave the different sizes of the devices. So the 4a 5G is a 6.2-inch display. And I remember pointing this out to you guys earlier on in another video about what you saw on Google's website. I personally feel like they have completed their lineup and they're doing fantastic for what they're offering. That is the difference. Some companies can't complete a lineup and some can. And I think Google, they really hammered it home with this 4a line. It's 5. The 4a, both of the 4As and the 5 really knock it out the park. And that's just how I feel about this thing. I think they did a great job overall because they've mastered software, they've mastered cameras, they've mastered performance. Hardware, always questionable, but I like this hardware. If you see, I don't have my case on today because I prefer it without the case. They've mastered the screens, everything. When you go down the line, the only thing that you think you're not getting is the most powerful processor. But do you need it? You got to ask yourself that. Some people, the price is always going to be a question. But is this phone worth $699? You guys are going to jump in the comments and ask me this. And I don't know who watches the video and who doesn't, because we'll see that comment down there. Some people comment on the title still. They don't actually watch the videos, unfortunately. We have no control over that. But is this phone worth $699? Would I physically go out and pay $699 for this phone? Sure, I would. Because I was buying Pixels long before Team Pixel, and I was paying a lot of money back then. So if something intrigues you, I mean, you consider this now. Look at this other phone that I was willing to spend the money on. Look at this. Willing to drop the cash on this thing. And you will be the determining factor whether or not you think something is worth something. You can't look to content creators to see if they think this worth something, so that you can flip it later on. Like a good example is my Surface Duo videos. I love the Surface Duo at the beginning, but I rode that device for 30 days straight or more, and I gave them a chance. So I said, you know what? Catch and release. Some people say, oh, you flip-flopping on. No. Real videos is what you're looking at. You're looking at real people do real videos. This is what happens when a real review happens. You don't just put out a video and call it quits after that, or do 2 videos and move on to something else. You revisit the products over and over and over again and give the consumers updates. That is where I'm different than a lot of reviewers on YouTube. I actually use the products, and I try to give you so many videos, and I'm still being consistent and giving you updated videos when things go wrong. I think that's really fair. So I think all the people that feel like the device is a flop before it even hits because of the price, I can't stress this enough. You don't do reviews more than likely, and you know nothing about what a consumer really wants. We're the small time people, not reviewers. We're the people making the choices of what people buy. And Google, I honestly believe, now obviously they're not watching me, they're not looking at what I'm saying, but I think Google is definitely completing a lineup. Now, what's going to happen when Google brings out a device just like this in a purple color, or a black or white color, and it's $750, $799, and then it's got a Snapdragon 875 in it? Then what will you guys do? Well, I'll tell you what I'll be saying. They're completing their lineup. Make sense? It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. The Pixel 5 is fantastic. See you in the next one. Take care.